Hey, hey, hey! Welcome to the official launch week of my brand new system, Activate Your Intuition. I've got a few surprises for you today, not just in terms of polls and prizes, but in terms of what you might actually think the word intuition means. So this isn't just a course on how to be more intuitive in terms of like your psychic development. It's much more about busting the myths around your intuition. And I can't wait to get started with you on this because it's really, really exciting stuff. So please do put your comments. Let me know that you're here. Put them in the chat box. And remember that if you haven't registered with StreamYard, that's totally fine. I just won't know your name. So you can use that to your benefit if you want. You can stay totally anonymous. That's up to you. Or you can put your name in so that I know that who you are. Speaking of which, in case you don't know who I am, my name is Tiffany Crisara. I am an inner transformation specialist, author, courage catalyst, and the BOHO CEO of the multi-award-winning Transformational Truth of Tarot. I specialize in particular with helping intuitives tune back into themselves, because most of the time intuitives have a habit of losing themselves in other people, and that's exactly what we're going to be working on today. So what we're going to do is I'm going to run through some really mind-blowing things that may just turn your head a little bit upside down and shake it around a bit when it comes to your intuition. But by the time this is ended, you will have more understanding than ever on what it means to be intuitive. That's quite a claim, but yes, I believe it. You let me know. You let me know at the end how it's been for you. If you have tarot or oracle, even better, because you can take part in this if you have tarot or oracle. But if you don't worry, you can actually just tune in with me. I'll tell you how to do it as we go. But you will be learning some really key hot things in the next 10-15 minutes. And if you want to, you can ask questions at the end. And that's the point, really, of showing up live. If you're going to show up live, ask for what you want. I am here. I'm a real person. I'm not a figment of your imagination or a chat bot. I am really here. This is really live. If you've caught me at 2 p.m. UK time on the 29th of September, that is, then lucky you. This is time for you to ask for what you want. That's the extra bonus you get for making the effort to be here live. Okay, so we've got a few people joining. Hi, good to see you. Thank you for joining. Let's get going. All right, and you can pop your questions in as you go, but try and stay away from, sometimes people put questions in Facebook and they put like, oh yes, or that, or this. And then by the time I've come round to do the Q&A at the end, I have no flipping idea what you're going on about. So please be descriptive in your comment, because I'm not that psychic, okay? Because it'll be out of context by the time I get round to it. All right, so just explain what you're talking about, basically. And that will help me help you. Let's crack on. Great to see you all here. Hello, beautiful people. Let's get it on. Oh, now I've got it off. Right, okay, let's try again. I hope the sun is shining where you are. It's beautiful here. I love that we've got such a sunshiny day on the official launch day of Activate Your Intuition. So what is this thing I've been talking about and raving about? And I really have been raving about this. You'll see why. Okay, so it's made for intuitives who wish to receive from themselves, their relationships, and the universe. So have you ever realized that it seems like sometimes the more intuitive you are, the less life actually works in your favor. Maybe you struggle with knowing what you want or you need or how to communicate that so it's met. Therefore, your life path just doesn't seem to go anywhere. Do you resonate? If so, you're in the right place today. Because hey ho, I am one such intuitive, believe it or not. I know I'm seen as quite successful, and yes, I am relatively successful in that I get to live my passion every single day of my life. And to me, there's nothing more important than that. And so to me, that's how I measure success. But hey ho, I wouldn't say things have actually come easily. And really, if you're intuitive, you kind of think that they should, right? Like you listen to your intuition and then you make the right decision, right? So why isn't it like that? Well, over the last few years, I kind of got the answer to that. And I have put it together this year. That's how I've spent lockdown. It was after a Brexit breakdown. Don't know if you remember that fateful day. And I'm not saying one way or another. To be honest, I am not a political person. I personally believe in a higher divine plan, and that's where I put my attention is up there. So it wasn't, when I say that, I'm not saying that I had a leaning one way or another. To be honest, I just feel ignorant of such matters. My expertise is about up here. And it just was a case of I had a breakdown on that day of Brexit back in 2016 because I am intuitive and I will pick up the collective consciousness, and everybody's collective consciousness went pretty nuts. And that, coupled with my Uranus opposition in my midlife crisis, meant that I had a bit of a breakdown. I left my home, my family, my husband, my cat, my car, and just caught a plane anywhere. And I'll tell you more about that. But that was the start. That was the start of me getting the light bulbs about what happens for intuitives and why they have such challenging relationships or a challenging time getting their needs met. And so that was the beginning of the information that you see now being presented to you in 2020 for the first time properly. This is like tied up with a bow. Here you go. I'm presenting it to you. And can't wait. I'm really, really, really excited about it. So 3 things we are going to learn today is why, as an intuitive, you struggle with your ability to receive in life, whether that's from your relationships, from yourself, from the universe, from your career, could be anything. Yeah. Or why being intuitive means you struggle with boundaries, and how you might think you're intuitive when actually what you are is outuitive. Ouch, ouch, ouch. Don't shoot the messenger. This is a really important thing for you to understand. And I know right now you might be there thinking, oh, what the heck is Tiffany on about? Is that even a word? No, it isn't. It's a term I have coined, and I will describe what it means to you very soon. Also, at the end of today, I am going to announce who won a book. So thank you everyone that filled in the survey. It was really good to see what you needed help with. I'm going to be going through all of them. I've seen some really good questions in there and things that you need help with, and I'll be posting them up in the group, in a Transformation with Tiffany Crisara group throughout the week, and answering those questions as well. It was really helpful. Thank you so much. And so at the end, I'm going to pull a tarot card, which is going to be like a little mascot, shall we say, for everybody's journey. But the number of the card will represent the number of the entry, and I will announce who the winner is. Okay, and then you can tell me whether you want a Transformational Truth of You book, hard book, which is kind of behind me on the shelf, or a Transformational Truth of Tarot book, or an ebook of what we're going to be talking about today, either the workbook or the autobiography. Okay, you don't have to tell me at the end. We'll contact you and you can let us know when you've had a little research. So by the end of this session, all of you will understand what outtuition is, okay? And you'll have learned one way to get instantly out of outtuition, because it's not a good thing, especially when you think you're being intuitive when actually you're not, you're being outuitive. So I'm going to show you one instant way that you can get out of outtuition and into intuition. If you have tarot or oracle cards, you'll really be able to do it with me, which will be better. But if not, don't worry, you'll be able to tune into the card I've got. Okay, and I'll also show you how one quick way to help yourself stay in intuition daily rather than fall into outtuitions, because you might be there going, oh heck, how do I know when I'm being outuitive? Don't worry about it. You just want this one question that I am going to show you today, which will help you with that. Okay, so cracking on, these are the 10 symptoms of using your intuition as outtuition. And I'll explain what outtuition is on the next slide. But basically, if your life seems to have a lot of over-emotional misunderstandings and you feel like everything is personal, that's definitely two of the symptoms. But sometimes people don't even realize they're taking things personally because they've taken, it feels like theirs, so they think it's their own stuff. So it goes deeper than just feeling like somebody's attacking you. Okay. Number 3 is making assumptions that cause drama. That happens a lot when you're intuitive. It's like, I'm intuitive, so you can't tell me otherwise, and I'm not going to ask you any questions because I don't want you to prove me that, I don't want to get into a battle about me being intuitive. It's almost as if the more invested we are in that label, the more we'll protect it, the more our ego will protect it at the cost of our relationships sometimes. I did say there's going to be some little messages today and you might want to shoot the messenger, but I am behind a screen. So the truth will piss you off at first, but it will set you free. So if you want to be set free and you want that moment of cringe, ouch, and then wow, life's going to get better, stick with me. Okay. This also means that then you'll struggle to know your own reality. If you're making assumptions, you won't have the right information. You'll be picking up on other people's stuff, thinking it's your own. It becomes really hard to know who you are, right? And the whole point of being intuitive is being in to you. It's about knowing who you are, when actually it can be the opposite. It can really cause a lot of challenges around that. And then it gets into this over trying and overdoing and overwhelm. It's almost like as if you're going to try to prove the improvable. Yes. And so I see this so much with my clients. I've really had to work hard with them on it's okay to do less. It's really actually very important to do less, because if you over try and you overdo and you go into overwhelm, you go into overkill, you can't receive. It's like you're giving all the time, putting out all the time. Nothing can come back. Like if you had presents and you were giving it to someone, all they would be doing is like having to receive it. They couldn't give back to you. And then it just gets to the point where you're just done. And so we need to change that. That's a big reason why receiving doesn't work as an intuitive. Then there's not knowing or mixing up your needs or wants. Okay, so when I was, up until my mid-30s, I really had no clue what I needed or what I wanted. I had to do the morning pages. Don't know if any of you know the morning pages by Julia Cameron, for years. And I've boiled this down into the workbook. You have certain questions that I got very clear on to actually fast track and get to the place of knowing what I needed and what I wanted. And so that's in the Outtuition workbook, which you'll hear more about as we go on. So you can be trained as an intuitive, and I'll explain why in a minute, to be a needless, wantless, anti-dependent. So you can feel really divorced from knowing what you need and what you want. Or the other thing is you get what you need and what you want mixed up. So for instance, when I'm tired, I will eat. And when I need love, I will eat. In fact, when I need anything, I will eat. Yes, but eating is a want, it's not a need. And so that gives me a battle with the bulge, so to speak. Yes, and so that's number 6. Number 7 is you can't express yourself until it's too late. If you don't know what you need and you don't know what you want, then how can you actually say it? And for me, this got so bad that I would blow up. I don't know if you can resonate, but I would blow up. And it was only when I would blow up that I would realize that I had a need. And then the way that it was being presented meant that there was no way in hell anyone was going to help me meet that need. In fact, quite the opposite. And then it became a really difficult downward spiral from there, taking me in completely the opposite direction from what I needed to be going in, right? And then that says bounding. Okay, bounding's quite cool. Bounding from no boundaries to big barriers, a bit like Tigger. And sometimes you just have no boundaries. And you might resonate with that. You might be like, I just don't have any boundaries, Tiff. Okay. Yes, that's a sign. It's not like you have to bounce from no boundaries to big barriers. It may be that you resonate with no boundaries. It may be that you resonate with big barriers. It may be that you resonate with bounding, like Tigger, between the two. And that's another sign that you're using your intuition as outtuition, that you're struggling with those things called boundaries. Number 9, feeling like you don't belong anywhere. Anyone know that one? Kind of got over that now, mostly. But yeah, it's a very lonely place to be. And again, really blocks you from being able to receive, as does not having any boundaries, because then you're just receiving everybody else's stuff, or having big barriers because you're not letting anything in, right? So all of these you may be able to see are reasons why you can't receive, basically. And 10, struggle to obtain healthy self-esteem. Well, if you don't feel worthy, you won't allow it. So there you go. Those are the 10 symptoms that I have basically seen in myself and in my clients, that I've worked with intuitives full time since 2003, and it's taken me a very long time to work out what was going on. It was only in 2016, as I said, that I really got to start understanding what was happening and putting it together. Okay, so why do we have these symptoms? Well, because at some point in childhood, the intuitive learnt that their caregiver's needs were more important than their own. So they started to tune out of themselves and into the caregiver's needs. That's what I call outtuition, using your intuition to tune out of yourself and pick up what's going on around you, tuning into other people, other situations. And, as a child, that's actually quite an effective strategy, because you are dependent on your caregiver. So if something happens to your caregiver, excuse me, but there's no other way to say it. So you get no airs and graces here. You get the straight up truth. You might have realised that. So when you are a child, as I said, that's effective. But when you are an adult, you are responsible to meet your own needs, your own wants. And that strategy will, instead of protecting you in your relationships, it does the opposite. Yes, it actually risks your relationships. It risks your survival. It absolutely does. Like, I nearly had a car crash last year because I wasn't tuned into the fact that I was tired, because I was tuning into everybody else's needs. So this is important stuff. Stick with me. We're nearly there. Even though it says 23 slides there, I can talk very fast. Had you not noticed that? So this means 3 things: an inability to know your needs and wants and communicate them in a way that you can receive them. Number 2, establish effective boundaries so you can have a peaceful, stable foundation from which to flourish. And number 3, allow yourself to receive from yourself, from others, and the universe. So what do you have to do? Let's crack on and change this. We're going to start right now, okay? We're going to start rewiring those 10 symptoms of intuition back into true intuition. And just so you understand, I'm just going to quickly go through why, how long this goes back for me. I'm an only child to a single parent mum, so you can imagine how much I needed to be tuned into her. She was young, she was stressed, it was definitely more the other way, in a way. It was like she was looking after my basic needs, but I was absolutely looking after her mental and emotional needs. And so I started to have absolutely no boundaries. I was picking up everything, not just from her, but from the other world. And I had some incredibly intense psychic disturbances all the way through my childhood. It did mean I ended up as a professional psychic on the London circuit in my 30s. I used to be on the TV. I used to be writing columns. I won awards, but it just, all that happened was my life got more chaotic. My life got more dramatic. It felt more out of balance. Something felt very wrong, and the psychic disturbances just kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And I just couldn't understand why, really. And then I started to get it, and I had to leave. I had to leave the psychic world and actually start my own business, which was about the transformational truth of tarot rather than the predictive side of tarot. You can ask me questions about that if you want. I'll answer them in the Q&A, but just to keep it short here, I was working really hard to get out there a message that wasn't particularly popular, I guess. And everything just got too much that day of Brexit. There was an issue. I was married. That issue had gone on for a decade because we were a step family unit, and it really was not easy. I've been the stepchild, and now I was the stepmother, and it was just this intense drama triangle all the time. And I couldn't cope with it anymore. I couldn't cope with everything that had been coming at me in this world and the other world, and just couldn't. It was too much, way too much. And I had this breakdown, and I went off to the USA and to Mexico, and I started to really understand what was going on, because it was the first time I had my space, and it was profound. I could feel what wasn't mine, and I would say 99.9% wasn't mine, but I still had a heck of a lot of work to do on that 1%. It was like lead. And so, it was really strong stuff. And I found the way to turn my life around. I came back home after 18 months, and now I have the most amazing, beautiful family relationships around me, with my husband, with my stepchild, adult now, with my mother, all the relationships that were really difficult. And I don't have psychic disturbances anymore either. And I started to apply what I'd done with my clients in the transformational truth of tarot, and everything like problematic relationships and everything we're talking about here started to turn around for them. So that's what I've spent lockdown doing, is distilling it into really clear, presentable, quick, instant ways for you to be able to benefit from this as well, because it's really important that we do in 2020 more than ever learn how to actually be healthy with our intuition. Okay, so just have one case study for you here today, and that's Sylvie. And the reason I've chosen Sylvie is because when she did the beta test of Activate Your Intuition, she actually sold her house. It wasn't even on the market, and it's only a 10-day program. And in that 10 days, it went from being on the market to being sold in a cash buyer. And Sylvia had been struggling for a very long time because her husband was the block to selling the marital home. So she started in that place. He was still the block to it. But actually, within those 10 days, she used some communication style within the Activate Your Intuition. And boom, house was on the market. First viewer came on, cash buyer, sold, literally within days. And she's not the only one that's actually sold her house on this program. And this program, has only been beta tested by less than 30 people. And in those 30 people, it's only 2 people that have wanted to sell their house. Both have 2 cash buyers in 10 days. I'm telling you this because that's how much it shifts your ability to receive. So I've chosen that one because I think like selling a house is probably the biggest, most tangible way that you can measure that. Okay, so that's why I've chosen that one. It's priceless. It's not just about receiving money, but it's about receiving the relationships. Sylvie and her ex-husband are now in a good place, for instance. Yes, it turns your relationships around, which we know is even more priceless than selling a house, for instance. But you need to learn 3 core factors. And that is number 1, how good are you at knowing what you need and want? We're going to find that out. And how good are you at being able to ask for it in a way that it's going to be heard and met? That's another one, another piece. And how good are you at aligning to the end result that you want and not getting caught in the dramatic dynamics along the way? Because that's another one. The bottom line is, it doesn't matter how intuitive you are. If you don't have your self-esteem, you won't make the right decision. Okay, so just think on that one, because intuition isn't what sets you free. It's your self-esteem. And if your self-esteem is low, you'll make your decisions by listening to your lower self-esteem voice rather than your intuitive voice, because you don't feel worthy. And if you don't feel worthy, then you're not going to allow it to happen. Okay, and a key way to know whether you suffer from low self-esteem is how much you worry, you fret, you fear, you stress, and you control your life. And the one way to really help yourself with this is to catch yourself doing that and choose differently. Now, you might be there going, very funny, Tiff, but it's like anything. The more you go down the gym, the stronger that muscle's going to get. The more you practice catching yourself and going, oh, I actually don't deserve to do that to myself, the more you're going to actually start rewiring yourself from outtuition to intuition. Okay? There's a way that you can do this if you need a bit of help, and that is by asking the question to yourself, what would self-worth do? I said to you at the beginning, I was going to give you a way that you can put yourself straight back into intuition instead of going into outtuition. It's this question. Yes. What would self-worth do? Every time you have a decision, ask yourself that. Not what does my intuition say? You're going down the wrong way. You're going into outtuition that way. What would self-worth do will keep you in intuition. Okay? And you can have a little bit of fun with this. If you have tarot or oracle, and do you have tarot or oracle? If you don't worry, because you can tune into mine, at least this time. But if you want to do this on your own, of course, you're going to need tarot or oracle. Either will do. Okay. If you have tarot and oracle, you can play along. I'm not sure that's the right word. And basically what you want to do is you want to shuffle the cards. Okay, shuffle. And when you have one, you don't look at it. So if you've seen a card, you need to choose another one. You place it between your hands and you let go of intuition. So you let go of the need to know what it is, because that's out of you, right? It's not about that. What you do is you just close your eyes and you take a nice deep breath in and out. And if you don't have a card or an oracle, don't worry, just do this anyway. I just want you to imagine that you have the card that I have in your own hands, okay? So just nice deep breaths in and out. Relaxing, letting go of any intuition, allowing yourself to let go of anything, of trying to do anything. It's not about that. It's about relaxing and opening your energy as if you're welcoming the energy of the card into your being. And you can do this by breathing, taking gorgeous deep breaths in. And as you do, imagine the energy flooding in from the card, in through your palms, up through your arms, into your being, into your heart, resonating throughout your cells. And then releasing all the way through your pores. Just continue with that for a few breaths, breathing in, opening, welcoming, breathing out, merging, so you're becoming one with the card. And you tune into how you feel, if there's any changes in your temperature, your emotions, your thoughts. Don't try too hard, just notice, relax, open, welcome. Breathe it in and out, and tune into any visions that you get. Might just be a color or an object, or it could be a whole scene. And if you see a tarot card, don't worry about it. Just notice it. It's not about getting the card right, but you can allow it in and just unhook from that. Just notice it and continue on by sending your thoughts up and asking for the message. Just say, dear universe, if there was a message in this card for me today, what is it, please? Just allow it to drop back in. Okay. And so then, if you would like to, you can put what you got in the comments if you're here live, and I can help you. But you will need to put the card as well as the message. Okay? If you just put the card or the message, I can't help you as much. So put the card and the message. So for instance, the message I got so much heat and tingling, and I was just seeing a bit like these sequins. I was just seeing sunlight radiating all around, but it was more orangey than gold, orangey and yellowy, very warm. And then I saw like a very happy young maiden laughing and twirling in a meadow. And I got the message that happiness is the fountain of youth. And I don't know what the card is. Let's have a look. Okay, so there you go. There's like the maiden twirling maybe in the meadow, happy, and fountain of youth. There was stuff there about health as well. It's almost like she's picking apples off an apple tree. There's golds and reds and sun-looking things in there. And it's the 9 of Pentacles, which is about self-worth, funnily enough. So do put it in the comments if you want any help with that. But that is one way that you can work with the tarot that is not intuitive, because when you don't know what a card is, when you can't see it, you are naturally going inwards into your intuition, and it's connecting you with your higher self. It's the higher self message, and that's intuition. So that's one thing you can do. Another thing you can do between now and the next live, here's a little action plan for you, is I want you to think about your most problematic symptom and vote for it. So if you go into the group, Inner Transformation with Tiffany Crosara, you'll see there's a poll up there now, and it has each of the 10 symptoms, and you can vote for up to 3, okay? The vote closes in less than 24 hours, so 2 p.m. UK tomorrow, Wednesday. And the ones that have got the most votes, the top 1 or 2 if there's a tie, I will be helping you with on the next class, which is Thursday at 2 p.m. And then we have our final one at Saturday on 2 p.m. So basically you're going to get to rewire 2 of those symptoms for free this week, as long as you interact, as long as you tell me, yes, I've not created a class plan because I'm listening to you. I want to know what you need help with the most. So interact with me and you'll get the most value out of this. I would suggest doing a tarot feelie every morning. If you have signed up for the live, for the launch, so you're not just here in the group, but you've actually signed up for the launch, which is on this link here, this pink link here. Maybe I can put it also in the chat box for you. Maybe in a minute. But activateyourintuitionsystem.com/launch. If you go there, if you haven't already, then it means that you're going to get this replay sent to your inbox along with the supporting documents of each class. So the supporting documents for this class is going to be your tarot feelie, and I think I'm probably going to put in there your daily wants and needs list as well, just because that's really good for you to get in the muscle for this week as well. And also, the more you show up and you share in the group and you say this happened or I need help with this, that's what I'm really there for this week for you more than ever. So please do show up and share, because the more that you interact with me and each other, the more this stuff goes next level, which is why I'm really passionate about group programs. I don't do one-to-ones anymore. I'm really passionate about how amazing the power of group is. So I really encourage you to do that. Oh, it's winner time. So let's have a look. Oh, the Fool. The Fool is number 0. That's not going to work. Trust the Fool. Okay, let's do a shuffle. And I'm going to come around to your comments after we've done the winner. Okay. The Moon. Okay, so it's going to go to number 18. The 18th entry of the survey is, dang, have I closed the window down? I'm always doing something silly like that. Okay, all right. So I don't know if Juliet is here. Juliet, save me. Juliet is my trusty PA person. So some of you may know her. She's amazing. She's so patient. And I've just got to work out who number 18 is, and then I'll come round to your questions. Gosh, aren't I good at keeping you waiting? Okay, so assessments. Which one of you did survey? Anyone here do the survey? Let's see if you were number 18. View results just coming now. Drum roll, please. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Mandy McCult is the winner. I don't think she's here live, so I will connect with her. But back to you guys that are turning up here live. Let's help you out. Ask for what you need. Any of those symptoms really resonate for you? Anything you're really struggling with on your ability to receive, boundaries, communication, relationships, let me know. Let me know in the chat box. And I'm here to help you. So make the most of it before I pop off. All right, so let's just have a look and see. At the moment, I'm feeling good, but I don't know why. I feel like I'm missing something. Does that make sense? Yeah, I would say that's probably an intuitive thing. Yes, when you're able to use your intuition as intuition, you'll be okay with allowing yourself to feel good in the moment, and you won't be so concerned about what's happening in the future. So yes, it makes sense. It's a normal thing for people to feel, but actually when I'm sure Sylvie won't mind me saying that actually that was one of her things that she went through, and then in Activate Your Intuition, she really managed to let go of that trying to tune into the outside world and actually be like, I'm in that place of gorgeous feeling inside myself. That's exactly what Activate Your Intuition is about doing for you. So thank you for sharing, and I hope that that is helpful. And I would say the Tarot Feely that we did in particular is something that can really help you with that. Don't ask any questions about it, because that's intuition, that's you trying to get some information. It's just about holding a card that you don't know and practicing letting go of the need to know, and opening your energy and welcoming the energy of the card in, and tuning into your feelings and your visions and your messages. And that will activate, I call it like the hotline to the divine. It activates your higher self. And so there's nothing in the way. When you see a card, your judgments are in the way. Yes, you'll start judging it as a positive or negative, or you like that card or you don't like that card. But when you are in that space there, the message you will get, when you've connected with your higher self, because it's always about you. It's never about someone else, which is intuition. It's always about you, and it's always really high and positive and inspiring. And so the more that you practice that, the less this feeling will go, because you might be missing something, but if you are, it doesn't matter. You're not meant to be knowing it right now. So you would be trusting that a lot more and not worried about it. Yeah. Hopefully that is helpful for you. Thank you very much for your share and your question. Hey, Kate. She just opened her eyes and she's sitting here with the sun. How beautiful. I felt blue, gentle, kind of frizzy light feeling in my tummy and head. Well, that sounds quite nice. Did you get a message with it? That's the most important thing with the Tarot Feely, is to get the message. And that message might be through the feeling, or it might be through the vision, but you're still asking. And it may be that you just get more redirected to your feeling or your vision, and that's totally fine. But it's like, that is the message then. So I would say to you, Kate, what is the message you got from that, even if it was just through your feelings or your visions? Yes. Okay, so another person got the sun and they felt warm and excited, and the message was get ready. I love that. I don't know if that's the same person here that said that they were feeling like they were missing someone, because it's not showing up with your name. So I don't know whether you're a different person or the same person. But if you are the same person, then you'll know exactly what I mean then. The Tarot Feely sounds like it's really already shifted that for you. So wonderful. Excellent. Hi, Christina. Christina says, I saw a red Indian who was standing with their arms outstretched. How wonderful. Reaching up towards the sky, almost in the midst of an incantation. And I heard the words, feel your way. And the card was then revealed as the mystical shaman. Oh, wow. I wonder what deck that is and what number that is, in case that resonates with a major arcana, because then I can help you more, because I have no idea on the mystical shaman uh, what card that might be in actual tarot. I don't know if it's oracle or if there is a tarot deck called it, but if there's a number there, I might be able to help you glean more information. Thank you for sharing. It sounds lovely. Okay. Let go of feeling responsibility for all. Yeah. People become too reliant through no fault of their own. Beautiful. Yeah, absolutely. There's something that can help you with that, and that's called the drama triangle, the Karpman drama triangle. Google it, look it up. Also, if you do get into the Activate Your Intuition system, there'll be more on that to help you there as well. It sounds like that can help you a lot with that. So, unless you're just talking about my story that I was sharing and being empathic. Okay, Facebook user here says, I've had so many revelations in the last year about how I've grown up to serve others, family, parents, friendships, romantic relationships, work, that I now have very high boundaries and I won't let others in. It's a typical way we do oscillate from no boundaries to big barriers, right? Yeah. I now don't know what I want and the things I do want. Yeah, okay. I have no motivation to do anything for me now that no one is pushing me or expecting me. Totally normal and natural when you are starting to recognize how you've been tuned into others too much and out of yourself. It takes a while. Like I said, I had to journal every morning for years. I did the morning pages every morning for years until I started to fast track it. It started to become a way of me being able to tune into what I needed and what I wanted. And I've distilled that down in the workbook. And actually, you're going to get that worksheet. It is one of the worksheets I'm going to send out with the replay. So as long as you have signed up on the launch and you're not just here in the group, you will get that worksheet as well. Thank you for sharing. I'm sorry I don't know your name. It just says Facebook user here. Okay, Kate says, it was connection, I think, as you were talking about the sun, and Marie had the sun too. Oh, yeah, I love how we've all had the sun. And it's quite funny because I wrote about the sun. I don't know if you saw that, but this morning I thought, oh, what shall I write about to do the Activate Your Intuition system? I really didn't just want to go, you're going to get this and that and that. And I was just like, the sun. And look, it's behind me too. And it's out there today. And it just feels like it's actually been such a theme for 2020, the sun. I don't know if you noticed how many sunflowers were out, but my God, it felt to me as if the earth was saying, there are brighter times coming again. And boy, haven't we needed it. The sun's been around this year. Imagine lockdown in 2020 without the sun. Life-giving energy. The sun is about who you are. It's about your spirit, your divine spark. And that's what we're talking about here today, isn't it? It's about connecting with the sun of who you are, your divine being, your spark, your passion, your purpose, and growing like a beautiful tall sunflower reaching to the sun. So I love that it's been the mascot all round today. I love it, love it, love it. Yeah, Marie is saying, yep, she did indeed get the sun. Fantastic. Okay, so dang. Christina's saying the mystical shaman is an oracle and number 38, so it's not the sun. But if we're going to look at it numerologically, then that would be an 11. Again, that can be a different number. So it can be justice in the tarot, or it could be strength. If it's strength, because that's the older system, strength used to be 11 and not number 8. Then if it's strength, it's ruled by the sun. TD Slink, I don't know. It's all connection. There we go. Karpman drama triangle. Yes, it's spelt with a K. So look it up. Karpman drama triangle. If you click images, it's probably easier because it shows you an image of what is going on. Okay. As I said, there's more about that in the Activate Your Intuition course. I've realized that my kindness leads people to rely on me too much. Yes, 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 yes. And there is an amazing quote that I love, and I'm not sure if I'm going to do it justice, but I'm going to try. And I think this is the last comment, so it's a good way to end today. And that is, and then I learned the spiritual path was nothing to do with being nice. It was about honoring my space, my boundaries, my needs, my wants first. And then being nice happened, just flowed naturally, motivated from love, not fear. So I'll leave you with that thought. And thank you for being here for the very first class of Activate Your Intuition System. Head over to the poll in the group now, Inner Transformation with Tiffany Crosara, and vote for 1 to 3 of the symptoms of intuition that you know you're really struggling with in your life. And I will make a class on the winner of it, on the top symptom, or 2 if it's a tie, and I'm going to deliver that to you at the same time on Thursday. Those of you that have signed up for the launch, you'll get this replay and you'll get the supporting documents for your tarot feeling and your daily needs and wants to help you tuning into that, which is the real basis of getting you back into your intuition. Thank you everyone for being here. Lots of love and light and sun to you. Bye for now.